Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. It's week 9 in college football. We've got new guest handicapper Mike Brenner. New guest handicapper Mike Brenner sitting next to me. His record overall on the year is 11-8. He's coming off a 2-2 week, but if he had taken the full game lines on the ones where he took the first halves, he would have swept it 4-0. So I guess overall that's a promising sign.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Especially since if you were doing this live, you could have bet the second halves in those games, and then you would have covered the full game spreads.
And probably would have. And in the past, Pete, it's worked out to where my halves have covered and the game didn't cover.
Right.
So, that's, again, nature of the beast.
All right. 11-8 is your record right now. If you can do that long term, that's awesome. But as we sit right here, you're 3 losses away from 500.
Yes.
A little bit treacherous. If I were in your position, I'd be very nervous. But you can handle it. And the first game you've chosen to cover was a Friday night game, Louisville, Wake Forest in college football. This is kind of a curious game because, obviously Louisville has a big advantage over Wake Forest, but prime time, double-digit road favorite, always, a little bit of a treacherous situation. My first instinct, not even looking at the games, is to favor the home underdog, but, we know that Wake Forest has major issues most years, and this year included. Right now, Wake Forest 11.5 or 12-point home underdog. The first half line is 7, and, does Louisville have what it takes to get the cover? Let's see what Mike Brenner thinks. What do you think, Mike Brenner?
Okay, well, first of all, Pete, as always, good to be back here with you. I appreciate this opportunity to come on with you. Louisville, they've had their struggles also. This is probably one of the more lethargic offensive teams they've had in many, many years.
Yes.
But the defense is why I like this play. That, coupled with what you mentioned with Wake Forest, they just cannot get the engine going.
Yeah.
I like the first half. I like Louisville coming out. I think Petrino's just going to jump on these guys early and say, look, we need to establish something early. And so it's -7. I think defense might even get a turnover, a pick six or something in that nature. But it's not Louisville's offense that excites me, but it is their defense and the fact that Wake Forest just absolutely can't get it going. So, yes, Louisville -7 on the half. Very, very comfortable with this play. Very
comfortable with it. All right. You don't see Wake Forest as kind of just like a sucky but scrappy team that, especially in the first half, can maybe fight and keep it close because, a lot of times when you have these overmatched teams, sometimes it is the first half where the big underdog can hang for a half, especially in college basketball. You see that. You're not concerned about that Wake Forest. I mean, they are kind of a well-coached team, kind of scrappy. They just don't really have the talent.
No, and that's a really, really good point, Pete. I like that, and I agree with that. Had Louisville had the offense they've had years past, I probably would stay away from this. But because they are struggling, I think they're looking for answers. I think there's some pressure. So I think they know that this is the week to do it against Wake Forest. So I look for them to come out early and cover this line, maybe even in the first quarter. We'll see. But I'm sticking with it. I grabbed it at -7 and jumped on it pretty heavy.
All right. Mike Brenner knows that this is the week for him to do it as well, to extend out to a big margin of wins over losses. First pick of the week, Louisville, first half -7. Interesting pick. We'll see how this turns out. Thanks, Mike.
Okay, thanks, Pete. Have a great day.